Good morning. Some of you aren't even used to getting up this early, I heard. What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say. That is what leaders are. That is who we are recognizing today. Leaders that just do not talk about what they want to do, they put action behind their words. My name is Xavier Bailey, and I am the president of Manatee Tiger Bay. I'm going to ask for my son, Junior. Where are you? Hey, sweetie. This is my son. He's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. This is Edward Bailey, Jr.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. We will not be having the singing of God Bless America because you do not want me to sing. The only people that I let sing God Bless America is Marianne Barnaby and my mom, and neither of them could be here today, so you will not have me today. So really, I just want to, and please forgive me if I miss anyone, but who I've already saw. I've seen Commissioner Carol Feltz. We're going to recognize our dignitaries. Please stand. We have our Commissioner Carol Whitmore with Holmes Beach. Commissioner Tal Sadiq. We have former school board member John Colon. We have school board member Cindy Spray. Of course, Representative Will Robinson. We have former County Commissioner Bessie Benak. And I know he's probably going to sneak in later, but there he is, the Chair of the County Commissioner, George Cruz. Thank you so much. If I missed anyone, I apologize, but if I see you, I will make sure I recognize you. I'm going to ask for Carol Whitmore to come up. She's going to tell you a little bit about Pat Glass and why we have this scholarship luncheon in her name. Please give her a round of applause as she comes forward.
Thank you, everybody. Why am I up here? Why is this named after Pat Glass? Because leaders lead. I met Pat Glass in 1985 as a young nurse sitting in Manatee County Commission chambers. And the county was going to sell the hospital to the private sector. And I sat there, my little white uniform and my hat in those days, and I sat and watched her till like 12 or 1 in the morning. And I looked and I said, I want to be like her someday. And here I am. I just can't believe it. I've been longtime friends with the family. Leaders lead, Crosley Mansion. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have that today. The county was going to tear it down. Karen Wyndham is here. She knows that. And she fought hard, got a foundation and private monies restored that place. Commissioners here that are in office, do not mess with Crosley Mansion. Leaders lead. The phosphate mining ordinance is the strictest in the country. Joe McClash, Pat Glass were involved with that. Leaders lead. Also, migrant housing. Who would ever thought that somebody would want to get involved with migrant housing, one of our largest industries in Manatee County at that time? Pat Glass did. She received a lot of pushback. Leaders lead. Peace River. Pat was always into the water in Manatee County and Sarasota. And she did. She was on the first board, and she was very involved with that. Leaders lead, including the dam. Charlie Hunsaker and her sat at a bar one day. Sorry, Pat liked to go out and have fun. And on a napkin, they actually drew a diagram what the reclaimed water system would look like in Manatee County. It had never been done that time. They took that map, and what you see today is the reclaimed water. Pat Glass was instrumental in that. Leaders lead. That's why we're here today, because everybody that's been nominated are leaders in this community, and leaders lead. Thank you.
So we have quite a few awards today, and usually we send out the information to our law enforcement, and we usually get a couple of the agencies that respond, but this year we got them all. So it was very exciting to see the leadership in the police departments around the county. Let me tell you a little bit about the scholarship. This year, we awarded 3 scholarships. We have one more that's coming in, and they had to write essays based off of leadership. And why is it important to stand in your community, give back, and be a leader, and what that meant? And so what we have done is we started this in 2019. It was I think my first year as president. And I said, why don't we have something that we can send our children in our community and be able to make an impact in their lives also? And so we started the scholarship, and we have the scholarships where we have our seniors that apply, and then we also give scholarships out to people who are already in school, and then we have one that is for someone who wants to go back and get a higher education as far as a master's or a bachelor's degree, just to help out a little bit. So thus far, we've given out about $18,000 in scholarships since we were able, with a little break in the COVID. So we're excited to continue this, and I hope this is one of those luncheons that we're able to continue on. This will be my last year as president. I'm moving aside. We've set everything up. So we want new leadership, but we want to continue this great, because to look across this room and see so many leaders is just an amazing feeling, to know that we have people in our community that are actually giving back and actually taking the lead. We're going to have our lunch served. But what I'm going to do, because I'm going to continue to move through the program as you eat. You sit back, go ahead and eat. I want you to relax, but I'm going to do my job and move you out of here so I can get you out of here in enough time. So I'm going to start with the Lifetime Achievement Award. And it's going to be presented by Moody Johnson. And this is Coach Eddie Shannon will be the recipient. Please give Moody a round of applause as he comes forth.
Good morning. My name is Moody Johnson. I'm a resident of Manatee County for my entire life. But I'd be remiss if I didn't give you my world-famous introduction. My name is Moody Johnson. I am Rosemary's son and Snake's boy from Palmetto, Florida, which is the garden spot of the South, gateway to the booming North, where men are men, women are proud of it. I've got dirt between my toes. I got a sand spur on my heel. I can run through the grove backwards, spit a seed on the bank, and watch the tree grow. And if you should ask me what's my favorite meal, I'll be glad to tell you. Buzzard lips and mosquito hips smothered down in termite rice and grapefruit gravy, but none of that crap of Manatee, and just tell the whole world on that that Moody Johnson truly loved the Lord. Good to have y'all this morning. Moody Johnson is a recipient of many, many things in my lifetime. But to have Eddie Shannon, first of all, as a man and then as my high school football coach, meant much to me, means much to me even today. With Eddie Shannon in our lives, I can't say just me, but our lives, because he touched the lives of so many, especially at Lincoln Memorial High School during our era, that we are truly blessed. God is really good. And God has a sense of humor, too. Just real quickly, just to cover some time span, Coach Eddie Shannon played with my father and my uncles. There were 18 of them Johnson children on Memphis Road there. And he lived what we call uptown in Palmetto. Had a cow named Daisy. And he not only took care of us at school, he took care of you even after school. If a parent was having a difficult time with a child, especially a single mom, call Coach Shannon. And with him being that type of man, reflected his true depth of who he was. He was a child of God. He was a Christian man. He believed in serving the Lord. And with that being said, every time we had an occasion, especially in the mornings at Lincoln Memorial High School, we would have devotion. You honored God first, and then everything else fell in place. And he taught this to us, and we accomplished many, many feats in our lifetime. And I just want to say thank you again, Coach Shannon, and all those that poured into our lives. But this man, again, he may not be 6'11", 280 pounds like Bill Russell, those great guys, but he stands tall in his character, and that's what means the most. And so, Coach Shannon, and all the recipients here, but especially you, since I'm presenting yours, I want to say I love you and thank you for everything you poured into our lives, not only my life, but the lives of many people that you've touched all over the world. Coach Eddie Morris Bully Shannon.
We are very proud to present the Lifetime Achievement Award to Coach Eddie Shannon. Can we please have a round of applause?
Yeah, man. Coach Shannon made 103 on the 7th of March. 103. All down to him.
Our next leadership award is the Presidential Leadership Award. This is the award that the president selects each year. And we're going to have our former philanthropy, Cliff Walters, is going to introduce him. Please give him a round of applause as he comes forth.
I don't know what I did to make Xavier irritated at me, because no one wants to follow Coach Shannon. He is an icon of the community. He has a lot of public recognition, but it's what he did behind the scenes that has changed the character of the community, made us who we are. I was reflecting on the complex tapestry of this community is reflected by all of you in the room. And then I was reflecting on my partner, Will Robinson, and how he grew up here. He was part of this community, his family. And Will started off, he was flying pretty high. He was student body president of Manatee High School. And then he goes to Notre Dame. You'd say, this is a young man of promise. And then he went off and became a lawyer. You know, what happened, Will? You know, he was a young man of promise. He got his law degree at Stetson. You all can read about it in the program. But if he was going to be a lawyer, he decided he was going to be a good one. And Will is one of the best real estate lawyers in the state of Florida. He is board certified in real estate law. I'm so proud to have him as my partner, because the hard stuff I can give to Will now. But Will wasn't satisfied with just being a good lawyer. He became involved in the community. He was on the Chamber of Commerce. He was involved in sports with youth. He I don't want to repeat everything in the brochure, but he went out and engaged in multiple activities, chair of the board of Meals on Wheels. One thing he's done since I've been at the firm, he's done all the Habitat for Humanity closings pro bono for hundreds. I mean, this is tens of thousands of dollars of legal fees he's kept from me. I don't know what's with Will. So, but Will came out of a family, and they had great success. They created Robbie's Sporting Goods, later merged into the company now called Champs. So what do they take to the money? Did they give it to Will or the law firm? No. They give it to the community by donating what's now known as Robinson Preserve, one of the most outstanding preserves in the state of Florida. So I am quite proud to be a partner with Will Robinson. And I thought he was actually elevating and coming over that rough start to his childhood. And as we all know, there is probably no more difficult and challenging job in the state than being a legislator. You're there in a sea of egos, a mishmash of grappling and grubbing, ego-biting, backstabbing. It's a soul-sucking job. So who's qualified for it? Will elevated. He took the job. And daggone it if he isn't excelled at that. He's on the leadership team and the legislature. He's committed. I watch him. Very few people would commit their life, sacrifice a significant income drop in order to serve the community. And what I'm most proud of, Will does it with integrity. He does it responsibly. And as an example of this room, he does it for you. He is doing it for everyone. Will doesn't come in and say, I have a Republican problem or a Democrat problem. He says, we have a people problem. I am proud to introduce you to Will Robinson, my partner and friend.
Well, thank you so much, Cliff. I actually I interned at the law firm back in 1997 as a young lawyer, and Cliff just was my mentor. And I thought it was a perfect person to introduce me, because I'm going to come back to this community. I get a lot of press about being a legislator, but I'm a firm believer in term limits. And coming back to my community, I was born in that hospital just a few blocks away. And it's just such an honor to represent my community. But my day, you just never know what my day is going to be like. I walk in the door, and one of my law partners, I'm trying to focus on law work. Will, what is up with this Gulf of America bill that's been filed in the legislature? I'm like, well, there's actually been 3 of those bills filed in the legislature, so buckle up a little bit. But it's just been an honor to serve. And I remember, I'm going into my 4th and last term in the House, but I remember my very first election. It was a contentious election, and I was so nervous. It was my first televised debate at ABC 7, and I had a very capable Democrat that was across the table from me. We're down in Sarasota, and they had, it was live, and they would do a segment, and then a break, and a segment. And so I get done with the first segment, I'm nervous, and then suddenly the moderator says, oh, and let's go to Bob Harrigan, who's gonna give us the weather. So, Bob kind of calmed me down. I got to listen to, the front that's coming through, and I'm all nervous about my speech and about what I'm gonna say, and Bob gave a great weather forecast. So it's just an honor, and frankly, a little humbling and almost awe-inspiring to be given an award right behind Coach Shannon. All he's done for our community and all your family's done. Thank you, sir. I graduated from Manatee High School in 1993, and we're still living the blessings of what you've done back many years ago. I told this story yesterday, but it's worth repeating. I'm going into my last term, and as you climb in seniority, you get kind of ridiculous perks. And one of the perks is a larger office. I actually have the largest office I've ever had in my entire life right now. And I was looking at the office, and I said, there's something missing. And I went to my mom's house, and there was this coffee table that was kind of hidden, and boxes were over it. And it was a coffee table my mom made from my dad's old Robbie's Sporting Goods sign. And it was really neat. It has the logo, and it has the 10 first locations, starting with Bradenton and Newport Richey and Sarasota. And so somehow I got that away from my mother and drove it up to Tallahassee, and it's sitting in my office. And every time I look at it, I think of my late father and all he did for me and for our community. But also, it reminds me of why I'm up there. I'm up there for you all and for our community. And for all those small businesses, all those individuals that are working hard every day, like my dad did, to just bring home a little bacon for their family to make sure their kids succeed in school. So I'm doing this for you all. I'm having a great time. We're going to have another probably crazy session, but I'm ready for it. Thank you for the award, Xavier. Thank you for your leadership in this great organization, and God bless.
I'm always bugging Will, but so this, you ready? I didn't know, you good? Okay, I'd like to move on. So hopefully this next award allows me to do the first pitch at one of those games. No point intended or anything, but you know, I first was able to partnership with the Pirates when I worked for the late Jim Brown in the AmeriCan program. And then I worked for Boys and Girls Club as a director, and Trevor Gooby was there. And I saw the amount of leadership and care they had for our community and our young people. And I remember when Craig came in, and he just got going in the chamber and the young professionals, and he lives and breathes the Pirates in this organization. And I'm very excited to present the Business Leadership Award, and Jeff is going to come forward and introduce the recipient. Please give him a round of applause as he comes forward.
Well, I don't know how you follow Moody and then Cliff, but you know, some of the perks that Will has gotten over the years, that he did get to throw out the first pitch. And what's that? Oh, well, so listen, I tell all the recipients of throwing out the first pitch, you got to man up and get up to the rubber, right? And Will went up to the rubber and he threw a perfectly good strike. George Cruz is going to be throwing out the first pitch. Let's all make sure that he gets up to the rubber on that mound, right? And just maybe we'll get you out there and throw out the first pitch. All right, so I am very proud to be up here this morning to introduce Craig. Craig he's our general manager of the Bradenton Marauders. Craig started with us in 2015 as the group sales manager, and then he became the assistant general manager under Rochelle Madrigal. How many of you all remember Rochelle? So Craig literally maybe a year as the assistant GM? Okay. And then Rochelle decides to leave us and go over on the East Coast and run Jackie Robinson complex for Major League Baseball. And without hesitation, I promoted Craig to the general manager in 2019. Craig has spearheaded several fan and community engagement initiatives over his tenure, including the launch of Friendly City Fridays and the Bradenton script logo, probably one of his greatest ideas he has done so far as the general manager of the Bradenton Marauders. Those of you, if you haven't seen it, it is really, he took the idea of the Pittsburgh script on the Major League uniforms, and he took Bradenton and created the Bradenton script, and it is just fantastic and outstanding. He's created Marauders Summer Concert Series, so pay attention to all the social media that's going to be out there and some of the concerts that he's going to be bringing to Lecom Park. And then several various community-centric promotions like theme nights such as Bradenton Nine Devils Tribute Night, Pride Night, Hispanic Heritage Celebration, First Responders, and Military Appreciation Nights, just to name a few. He is very active in the community, and one of the things that I strongly believe in is the Pittsburgh Pirates have been here since 1969. We became members of the Chamber of Commerce in 1968, and we're not going anywhere. And all of our staff lives here in this community, and we need to be part of this community to give back. And that's something that we strongly and very passionately believe in. Craig is a graduate of Leadership Manatee in 2017, is past chairman of Manatee Young Professionals, which, let me tell you, he took Manatee Young Professionals to another level. He really has, and really has doubled that attendance with Manatee Young Professionals over the years. He currently serves on Manatee Chamber Downtown Redevelopment Committee and the boards of Bradenton Area EDC and Career Source Suncoast and Realize Bradenton. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Wierczeka.
Congratulations. Here you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow, again, really hard to follow the first few, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Xavier. Really just humbled, honored, grateful to get that award. Thank you, Jeff, for the nice introduction. I really view it as a team award, like Jeff mentioned. I mean, it's not just me, but it's our entire group that, with the Pirates and the Marauders, we really believe strongly in giving back to the community and being active, and any decisions we make really is through that lens. So thank you, Jeff, for giving us that opportunity and encouraging us. And we have Karina and Brian here as well from our team supporting. And yeah, it's just this community is great. And I've been here for 10 years now. A lot of friends and familiar faces here. So just don't take it for granted that this is such a special place to live, and just feel lucky to be a part of it. And using the Pirates and the Marauders as a venue for the community, because that's really what it's all about. So again, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next leadership award will be presented by Kevin Chapman. And he has double duty, so I'm going to keep you up here, and we're going to do it back to back. So you can come up and do the Educational Leadership Award, and then you can do my Youth Advocate Award also, okay? Please give him a round of applause.
Thanks, Stavia. Hello, everybody. Kevin Chapman with the school district. I know one of our school board members came in right when Xavier was introducing, but Richard Tatum is here, one of our elected school board members. But on behalf of the school board and Superintendent Whitesong, I'm here to welcome and introduce one of our great assets to receive two different awards. The first, many of you know, we've got 64 schools here in school district in Manatee County. We're getting close to 56,000 students and growing. We have almost 6,400 employees, but one of our crown jewels is Manatee Technical College. And this next awardee really had something and continues have something to do with the greatness of Manatee Technical College. Doug Wagner, his career in education has spanned over 35 years. For the last 25 years, he's been here in Manatee County working for the school district as director, executive director, deputy superintendent, and for the last 2 years went back to serve as the director of Manatee Technical College. On a side note, Manatee Technical College is celebrating its highest student enrollment ever in the history of Manatee Technical College. So, Mr. Wagner, it's hard to say Mr. Wagner because we all know him as Doug, but Mr. Wagner served for 8 years as a governor-appointed statewide commissioner on the Commission for Independent Education, which has a statutory responsibility relating to non-public post-secondary educational institutions. In the 10 years prior to relocating here from Michigan, he served as the state supervisor of technology and industrial education at the Florida Department of Education, taught at the middle, high, and college levels, and including the University of South Florida. Over the years, as you know, Doug has served at the Manatee Chamber of Commerce, the Bradenton EDC, Career Source Suncoast, and take stock in children, which I know Ann is here, saw her. Doug and his family are Michigan natives. They moved here in the early 80s. He graduated from Florida State University with his bachelor's and his master's degree. We all know Doug as a champion of workforce education. What he's done here in Manatee County is just outstanding. He's a true asset and continues to be. So let's welcome Doug Wagner for the Pat Glass Educational Leadership Award.
Thank you. If I could just say a few words. This is very meaningful, and I surely accept it on behalf of everybody in education. There's so many who work so hard to make education great every day here in our community. But yeah, I was hired here 25 years ago, and actually Lynette Edwards, who's sitting over here, hired me along with Dan Nolan. But I want to take just a minute to tell a story about Pat Glass, because it is her name that we're using today. You know, when I came to Manatee County 25 years ago, I really felt like an outsider, because back 25 years ago, it really was a tighter community than it is today. And Pat really took it upon herself to learn my name, learn what I did, and we kind of traveled in the same professional organizations, and she would always make it a point to come up and talk to me. And Doug, good morning, how are you? It's glad that you're here. She really made me feel great and part of this community right away. And I really didn't have it wasn't a big job here at Manatee County Schools, but it was a career that I moved here for. But she really changed my outlook on how leaders do lead, like Carol was talking about this morning. You know, how leaders lead. And she made, and it wasn't just me, she made a lot of people feel welcomed to this community. And she had a big job in her professional role. And that's what I'd like you to leave with today, is that she really, it's very honoring to have her name on this. And on behalf of everyone in Manatee County Schools, I do want to say thank you for this as well. Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you, Doug. Thanks for your leadership. Before I introduce the next awardee, I do want to thank Craig and Jeff and the Bradenton Marauders and Pittsburgh Pirate team. Their relationship with the school district is absolutely incredible. There's probably not a week doesn't go by that we're not talking several times about how they can help families and students in this community. So just wanted to thank you, Craig and Jeff and the I call it an institution, but company, baseball team, organization. So as Doug mentioned, the next awardee is in himself an asset, but he's also the son of an asset, and Lynette Edwards, who many of you know spent probably almost 30 years in the school district, maybe even teaching some of you here in this room. So I see some of you nodding. So again, Ms. Edwards, thank you for being here. And I'd like to introduce your son, who is again a shining star here in Manatee County. Xavier Omar Edwards, as we all know him as Omar, is a native of Manatee County. He's been an educator for the past 25 years. During his 25-year career, he served the students and parents of Manatee County as a counselor, program manager, a middle school principal, a high school principal, assistant director over at Manatee Technical College, and currently serves as associate director of strategic planning initiatives. Omar was educated in the public schools of Manatee County. He graduated from Southeast High School in 1993. Upon graduation, Mr. Edwards received a fully paid scholarship to play football at Ole Miss, the University of Mississippi in Oxford, Mississippi. He is a proud graduate of Ole Miss, and had a pretty good season. While at the University of Mississippi, Omar earned 2 bachelor's degrees, one in public administration and one in social work, and then you got your master's from there too, right? National Louis University, and also his master's degree. He is a proud member of the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, which began its commitment to public service through various projects of the fraternity in the local community of Oxford. Mr. Edwards is a member of Rogers Community United Methodist Church here in Bradenton. He's a member of the Manatee branch of the NAACP. He's a life member of Kappa Alpha Psi. He is the immediate past pole march of the Sarasota alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi. He obviously is very involved with the Chamber of Commerce. He is currently now serving as this year's board chair of the Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County, which I know I saw Dawn here before. So again, a true asset, Omar. And at this lunch, we'd like to present you with the Pat Glass Youth Advocate Leadership Award. Congratulations, Omar.
Kevin, if you'll do me a favor and take this over to my mother. I have so many people to thank, and the first person that I want to truly thank is my mother, Lynette Edwards. Lynette Cecilia Hayes Edwards. Let's give her a round of applause. Because I didn't start out as an advocate for kids. I learned under her tutelage what that meant to be an advocate and a true asset for our community. I had an opportunity to learn that at an early age. So I first want to say thank you for your leadership and your parenting and just having a hands-on approach to a young son that really was a hardhead at particular times. So Xavier, I say to you and I'm so excited to receive this honor, being a youth advocate. And, it's all about having a passion for the students, empowered to pursue their dreams confidently and creatively while contributing to our community, our nation, and our world. And we live by that mindset to be able to be a beacon in the community to help the person that needs to help you. We want to be there for our community. So I can't thank everyone here enough. We work with multiple organizations to really look at a collaborative effort to get the results for our youth. So I thank you. If I bug you from time to time, it's only to get the best interests of our students. To our school board, who starts there with our mission to really shape our students and shape the future of our next generation. So I say thank you to you as well. Again, continue to enjoy the rest of your lunch, and just thank you for doing what you do for kids each and every day.
Everyone knows when I start coming on the stage, that means we're going a little bit over time. Smile. So this next award is the Media Visionary Leadership Award, and I'm going to present the award. It's Bob Harrigan, Chief Meteorologist at WWSB ABC 7, and his information is in the program, but the first time that besides seeing Bob on TV, I saw him at a fundraiser, and he was emceeing and helping a nonprofit raise money. And he was just dancing and laughing, and everybody was giving money. And I was like, he has a lot of talent. And just watching over, when I think about the hurricanes that we recently experienced back to back, if you want information, if you want factual information, and if you want someone that is going to ensure that it may be a storm coming, but I'm going to make sure that you get the best information to prepare for this, it's going to be Bob. And sometimes I feel like he's in my living room, sitting, talking with me, standing with me, saying it's going to be okay. But I talked to Susan. He says he's up all night. He'll even go in when he doesn't have to. But that's someone who also cares about what he truly does, because most of us we can do the weather. We think it's easy, but it's not. And to be able to ensure thousands of people that everything is going to be okay, and he's smiling, and he's passionate about it, and he also gives back to the community, that's what I call a true leader. Someone that's able to lead, but also make sure that we feel like everything is going to be okay. Bob, come on down. Tell us about the weather today. This is for you.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you. She reminds me of producers. You can't be up here too long, Bob. You got to hurry up. You have to understand that I only get about 3 minutes. So when I get a microphone, I go on forever. Okay, so get ready, sit back, and relax. Take it easy. No, I want to thank you guys. Very humbled to get this award. Obviously, there's so many big leaders here and people that do so much for the community, obviously, and appreciate you guys. I'm humbled as a meteorologist and weatherman and that guy you like to say, he got it wrong again today. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've been there for 40 years now. This is my 40th year. And as Will says, Will said he was at the studio coming in to do some talk, and it's always the politicians, and I go, oh no, not another politician, here we go. I got to sit through this interview, I want to get to the weather. But no, with Will, it was great. So, 40 years, I got to give you a quick, I'm going to knock that over if I don't take care of that. I was on my first live shot 40 years ago. I can remember it to this day, right? 1985, it was a Monday night game. They put me at the Monday night game because it was on at 1 o'clock in the morning, no one was watching, so we'll put him on. And sure enough, the camera comes on me, and I'm sitting there, and I go, the forecast? Well, partly cloudy here. Well, showers and storms. It's coming down this way. And I said, what's out west? There was a small monitor that was rolling. I couldn't say anything. Well, they're doing okay out there. And then all of a sudden, the maps kept changing and switching behind me because they put a new person in at the controls, right? They had a Christmas party that night, so I was invited. So I go taking a look at. I said, we'll be right back after this. I was so nervous, and I think that's what I learned the most is that after you do something enough, right, like tying your shoes, you get the hang of it. So now I can go, okay, partly cloudy skies today, high temperatures in the low 90s, lows in the low 70s, and a slight chance for showers and a few scattered storms. I think I've said partly cloudy more than any human being in the world. But I do want to give thanks to ABC7, and I get a kick out of it. Mr. Lombardo, he came up to me and he said, hey, I remember your first show. I said, you don't have tape of that, I hope. It was bad. But yeah, you heard it. He stuck with me, and I appreciate everyone else sticking with me. But also the station, ABC7, it used to be known as Channel 40. And so the locals, when they come, hey, you work for Channel 4. I go, that's a local. I appreciate that. Thanks for watching. I know that they're a longtime viewer. And I want to thank Jeff Slesher right there, the news director for ABC7, who got us through this hurricane season with their leadership. And you speak about leadership, Jeff Slesher. We also have Jeff Benninghoff. He's not here today. He is our general manager. And Joseph Dunn, who's part of this community as well in the marketing department. And without them, I wouldn't be on the air. I would be working, looking at the skies every day and just saying, where am I going to get my money? And speaking of schools, real quickly, I know that she's getting ready to wrap me up like the producers do. I say, I lost my IFB. I can't hear you. But all the schools I've spoken to over the years, I think I've talked to every school in the Manatee School District and the Sarasota School District. So it's kind of interesting. I went to one in particular. I was doing a weather presentation to kindergartners, right? About 5 years ago. And I'm talking to the kindergartners. You got to get down to their level a little bit. You got to look out and weather balloons and all this stuff. And the teacher comes up to me afterwards. She goes, you know what? I said, what? She goes, you talked to me when I was in kindergarten. I go, oh my God, I'm getting old, everybody. But if you don't know it real quickly, I'll end this with this. Our station during the hurricane coverage last year, we were in that zone that had the potential of getting a storm surge, right? And so we had to make the decision to get out. It would be kind of bad to have us sitting in a storm surge telling the people, hey, get out and evacuate. So we found a location, and John Saputo and Gold Coast Eagle Distributorship allowed us to use their warehouse, and we broadcast from that location. The first time anyone's really done that. in terms of moving a whole station. It was a heck of an operation all the way over to another location and broadcast, right? So besides this award today, ABC7 also received an award for the Gray Communication, Gray Media Corporation. We received the best station of the nation, and they've got over 120 television stations. So thanks a lot, you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. By the way, if you need me to auctioneer, I can do that too, to raise money, like you said there. All right, thank you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You are good at that. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to my first responders, the First Responder Leadership Awards, and our first one will be presented by Chief William Tolkager for Longboat Key Police. Please give him a round of applause. Two minutes, Chief.
I'll keep it quick. Hello, everybody. It's my honor to recognize George Turner. He was police chief for many years in Brooksville. He did 24 years with New York, came down here in 2001 with Longboat Key as a captain. That's where I met him, and we became fast friends. He's a mentor to everybody that's under him. He's a great leader. He left Longboat Key, went to Brooksville. While he was at Brooksville, he got them accredited, the first time that agency had ever been accredited. He was also appointed by Rick Scott as the commissioner for the Criminal Justice Standards and Training. He left Brooksville in 2018, came back to Manatee County and Longboat Key in 2021 as their chief and just retired. So he's retired like 4 times now. I don't see that he's going to stay retired. He went to the 193rd National Academy, FBI National Academy. He's a graduate from there. He's a great friend and a great leader, and it's my honor to recognize George Turner.
Thanks, Bill. My pleasure, Stud.
I'm glad that I was already told I got to keep it short.
Did you just do two?
All right, so 24 years in New York. I always wanted to live in Florida. Came down here in 2001. Made Manatee County my home. I've been a homeowner in Manatee County for the last 24 years. I did go to Brooksville for a short time, mostly because there's no chief's jobs down here for me. Very proud to be a part of this community. I did retire now after 48 years. I am not happy. People keep telling me I need to have a hobby. I started with redoing my garage. I did that in like 3 days. Now I have nothing else to do. One thing I do want to say, this last year with these hurricanes, the law enforcement and first responders in Manatee County all worked really well together. We achieved a lot of great things trying to get us back to normal. And I just want to point out Bill Tokinger, Scott Tyler, Melanie Bevins, the sheriff. We all worked really well together, and I'm going to miss it. But thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your service. I would like to know later what you're going to do. I think he's going to try to come back. So this next award is the First Responders Leadership Award for the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. And I actually selected this one, and I knew that Sheriff Wells wouldn't have a problem with it because I think he retired too and came back. He was just smiling and excited that he came back. But I had an opportunity to, I work with a lot of the law enforcement with the AmeriCAN program, the gang prevention that we work with in Manatee County. And I had an opportunity to work with Lieutenant Morrell, and I remember seeing him with the children, and to see the law enforcement and how they interact with kids and the smiles and the kids looking up and smiling back at them. I knew he had a gift, not only for what he did in law enforcement, but what he was doing for our community. And anytime I called him to do any off-duty stuff and any of that, he would come and he would show up. But most of all, he never said no. And I think some leaders need to learn how to say no. But when it's truly a passion of yours, you don't say no. But what I do know most of all, because I go to the same church as him, he is a true believer. He loves God. And when someone loves God, they love you too. No matter, we get on each other's nerves, but if you love God, we love everybody. But I'm going to let him come forward and let him tell you a little bit about himself. And are you going to retire anytime soon? Please give Lieutenant Morrell a round of applause.
One of my favorite scriptures in all things give thanks. So I really am thankful. I heard being thankful so many times. I said, that's me. I'm always thankful. Thankful for Xavier for nominating me for this award, and Manatee Tiger Bay and your staff and your committee for appointing me. As she said, I'm glad my wife is not here because she's telling me I got to start saying no. And but I was asked the question, do you really know what your purpose is? And I thought about it. I said, I really know what my purpose is. And that's why I can't, and I give honor thinking Sheriff Wells, the father who hired me in 1985. He saw something in a young man, and born and raised in Robonia, and he took a chance on me. And I served under Sheriff Brad Stubbe, retired under him in 2016. And then come along with Sheriff Rick Wells, who came to me and said, seemed like you got some left in the tank. I don't know how much I got left, but I will continue to serve in any capacity that you will have me to serve. My roots are all Manatee County. I am a full-time recruiter for Manatee County. I love it. Boy, it's one of the best jobs I can have. My mom asked me, what do you do? I say, Mom, I get paid to talk. And I do it well. She said, you sure do. I'll leave you with this. When I send her my bio, and I always use this, it says, what matters? I have 3 kids, and every time I get up and I minister, I always acknowledge my wife and my kids. They all starts with J, so I call them my 3 J's, John Jr., Janae, and Jordan. When they was young, I always had to take them to the doctor because the time that they had to take shots, my wife get a little queasy having them scream, so she figured I'd use my muscles and hold them down. So I always had to take them to the doctor's office when they had to take shots, so they figured that out. But one thing I was always looking forward to when I got to the doctor's office was when they get called to the room, like Blue 2, that's my room because they had a saying up there, what matters. And I go in there and I continue to read that every time I take one of my kids there. And I use it in my bio, what matters. See, it doesn't matter what's in my account, the size of my car that I drive, the home that I live in. What matters to me is the impact and the influence that I have in the life of a child. That was the matter to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next First Responders Leadership Award will be presented by Chief Scott Tyler for Sergeant Ryan Laurel. Palmetto Police Department. Please give him a round of applause as he comes forth.
Good afternoon, and it truly is a pleasure to be here with all of you recognizing these extraordinary people. My nominee is Palmetto Police Sergeant Ryan LaRoe, and I could go on and on, way probably longer than all of you want to sit here, to talk about Ryan, his history with the Palmetto Police Department, his many accomplishments, but I'm just going to try to sum them up. We all have that person in our lives, but especially in our organization, that is just that go-to person. That is that project manager that brings things home, that brings the problems to you, but also brings you a couple of solutions. That person that is the natural leader behind the scenes, the individual that your other organization members go to for mentoring. They just kind of naturally gravitate. And that's Sergeant Ryan LaRoe. When Xavier contacted me and asked that I nominate somebody for this prestigious award, his name just popped up naturally. It was an easy decision. So without taking a whole lot more time, I'd like to present to you Sergeant Ryan LaRoe.
Chief Tyler. Chief Tyler. Here's the presenter.
Thank you. Most difficult
All right, so that's good. So one thing, Ms. Bailey, in all of our emails back and forth for this, you did not mention that I was going to have to speak. So yeah, next time if we could. Yeah, we got it. All right. Thank you. This really is an honor. I greatly appreciate it. I'm in the room with a high caliber of people, and it truly is an honor to get this award. This job, I believe, is my calling, and teaching and mentoring people is probably my second calling. It just kind of comes naturally. So, yeah, I greatly appreciate it. And starting, very early. So I graduated from Southeast High School, go Knowles, yep. Right. And actually, Lieutenant Morrell, who was then Corporal Morrell, I believe was my SRO back then. So, yeah, some faces I've seen around. Yeah. And I thought it was really cool because, back in in the 90s, the SROs in Manatee County generally drove vehicles that were seized from drug dealers. So I think he had a Camaro for a while. There was a BMW. Yeah, what? A Mercedes. That's right. Yeah, but I remember there was someone that had a Camaro somewhere. But yeah, they were pretty cool and had the big Dare logo on the side, things like that. But yeah, so even going back then, I had a lot of mentors, friends, parents, and stuff that were in law enforcement. Man, I knew this was what I was to do. So, but again, thank you, everyone. I appreciate the honor.
So this next First Responders Leadership Award was a nomination that I think really people needed to understand. When you think about the fire marshal, we just think about people coming out and inspecting and telling you what you need to be doing. But we had a conversation. I had spoke with Chief Rigney, and I said, the Children's Service Advisory Board is working on an initiative that was very dear to me to make sure that our children are not drowning in Manatee County. And if you don't know the numbers, it really doesn't matter because one child drowning is way too many children drowning and a parent losing their child. And I called him up and we started talking about the initiatives that he is working on. And I just thought it was fascinating, and we all understood that we need to make Manatee County safer. First Responder Leadership Award for West Manatee Fire Rescue, Fire Marshal Rodney, and I say K. Katawaski? Ah, I got it.
Thank you all very much. Pat Glass, as you all know, committed her life, dedicated her life to public service. And so to receive an award with her name is particularly motivating and humbling. But leadership in the fire service isn't about individual recognition. It's about the team, the mission, and the unwavering commitment to public and first responders' safety. This award is a testament to the West Manatee Fire Rescue District team. From our Board of Commissioners to our Fire Chief Ben Rigney, to our newest rookie firefighter. I accept this award on behalf of all those who put self after service. And finally, as legendary Fire Chief Alan Brunacini from the Phoenix Fire Department wisely said, "Be nice." It's a simple yet profound reminder that kindness, respect, and humility are the foundations of great leadership and service. Thank you all, and God bless. Thank you.
Our next First Responders Leadership Award will be presented by Chief Melanie Bevan for Officer Deanna McNeil, Elder, the Fraud Unit, Bradenton Police Department. Give her a round of applause.
Thank you, and I'm going to have my folks start making their way up to the stage. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but about 10 minutes ago, she worked her way over there and motioned me over, and she said, 3 minutes, Chief. Got it? And of all the people here you threatened, do you threaten me? I got to reconcile. Not you guys, no. Anyway, I'm going to try to keep this very brief. Their actions speak for themselves. You got to get closer, guys, right? We're on a mission here. I'm incredibly proud to nominate these two individuals. Something a little unique to the Bradenton Police Department. Last year, after attending a conference, I came back with a mission. I learned some information I'd never known before about elder fraud, something that has really impacted our nation to levels that a lot of us still aren't even aware. $4 billion actually last year. I put out the call to my agency and I said, anybody here willing to step up and create a new elder fraud unit? I don't know what the parameters are. I don't know how busy you're going to be. I really don't even know how to investigate these crimes, but I need somebody to step up and do it. These two individuals answered that calling. I can't imagine what more they could have done than they have today. To date, good God, they've recovered nearly $1 million for several different victims within our city. Put seizures on millions of dollars in cryptocurrency bank accounts. These two individuals are making a true difference in the lives of so many people. Beyond that, Deanna McNeil has taken it upon herself. If you all live in a community where you're over 55, and everybody says, well, why did you start this elder fraud thing? I said, well, because I'm almost 59, and in 1 year I could be a victim, and I need somebody to come solve these crimes. She's been out to probably 15, 20 communities. There's not a day that goes by that somebody doesn't get with me and tells me what they're doing is just truly, truly miraculous. Here's a guy with 24 years on, towards the end of his career, working harder than folks that have 6 months on. Deanna came to us. We stole her from another agency, and when nobody else would answer that calling, she came here to us. And so I feel so blessed to have these two detectives working for us. And so on behalf of the Mayor, Gene Brown, and Vice Mayor Josh Kramer, who's with us today, congratulations and thank you.
Well, thank you very much for this honor. I will say, though, when she said volunteer, I don't recall it as being volunteered. I recall Chief Bevan saying, we have a problem with elder fraud, and I'm starting a unit, and you guys are going to go work it. What I have learned is, elder fraud right now is an epidemic. And it's not just plaguing the city of Bradenton, and it's not just plaguing Manatee County, and it's not hitting the state of Florida. It's hitting this entire country. Our seniors over the age of 65 are being targeted by scammers and fraudsters, not just here in America, but from North Korea, China, India. Every day they are using artificial intelligence, and they are using creative ways to take the hard-earned money from our seniors. And every single day, Officer McNeil and I talk to an elderly person who, in some cases, has lost their entire life savings. And it's heartbreaking. And it's very nice to have a partner who does bring me back from the depths every single day, because it is so depressing. But we just want you guys to be aware, because it is an epidemic that is plaguing this country right now.
Hi, I'm Officer McNeil. So nothing is more rewarding than helping someone else. Thank you for the award, but nothing is more awarding than helping someone else. I just had a victim walk into the station like 2 days ago, and she said, I received a message from the toll road company. I'm about to pay it. I don't want to get in trouble. But it was a scam. So we see these scams on a day-to-day basis, all different ones. When we walk out of this door today, there's going to be a new scam. So we feel very humbled to go to all these places and speak to our elderly community. And I'm so grateful for my chief for putting this unit together, just because the education that we give, it can help somebody else. And even if it's not helping that person that's sitting there, they pass the information along to somebody else. So thank you for this. We appreciate it.
I'm tickling myself because I think I went through the police academy in '03, and it was Sheriff Wells and Stubbe, and I got that same toll, and I was about to pay it. So I don't know if that, and my husband was like, don't you pay that. So it can happen to any of us, so just pay attention. But thank you all for what you do. So our next award is going to be our Media Visionary Award. And we decided, we did actual television this year, but we also did print and digital, because media is also changing. So we decided to split this down, and we wanted to also recognize what Matt Walsh is doing. I heard him speak at the Kiwanis, and I was like, he's just really informative. He is the founding editor and CEO of the Observer Media Group. And I was listening to him talk about how they had to transition from the print and actually digital to make sure that they're keeping up with the times. Things are changing from AI and making sure that we're reporting the great information. So we're waiting for him to expand to North River. I'm just reiterating that for you, because the paper has great information in it, but I'm gonna bring him forward so he can talk, and I'll give you 3 minutes. You got the, please give a round of applause to Matt Walsh, please.
Thank you, Octavia, and to Tiger Bay. It really is humbling and an honor to receive an award in the name of Pat Glass. And I think it's great that Tiger Bay is doing this to keep her legacy alive. Pat Glass was one of the first public officials I met shortly after we bought the Longboat Observer. It'll be 30 years at the end of March. And as all of you who know and who knew Pat Glass, it didn't take long to realize this was a woman of force, a force for good. And she was such a great example for a person and a leader of determination and integrity. And she also exemplified the code that I think is a great code to live by, which was to do the right thing, the right way, for the right reasons. I knew Pat for a short time, but in that short time, she was a great inspiration. and I know she was that way with many of you here. So thank you again for this award and honor. I feel privileged and very lucky. Thank you.
I love that. Thank you so much. Next, we'll have the Nonprofit Leadership Award presented by Rick Yoakum, who's also a past recipient. Actually, our first year we did this in 2019, Humane Society received this award, and he's going to present it today to Turning Points. Please give him a round of applause.
And you don't have to warn me, this is my speech.
You know, I spent 9 years on Humane Society Board, you know.
I remember all 9 years. Actually, I'm extremely proud to be standing up here to present the Nonprofit Leadership Award. I couldn't be prouder of being in this nonprofit community here in Manatee and Sarasota County. It's an amazing group of people. I'm up here to present an award to an organization who for over 30 years has worked to prevent and reduce homelessness in Manatee County. And it's an overwhelming task, as you can imagine. A lot of times they're misunderstood. Why are you helping this person? And the answers are simple, very simple. They want to guide individuals and families to be independent and have financial stability. It's as simple as that. The services, the facilities that they provide are amazing. And I'm proud to be up here because I love this organization. It's Turning Points. And one of the people that I consider beyond the board and the volunteers and the staff at Turning Point, which are all amazing, is the person I consider to be kind of the face and the heart and the soul of Turning Points. Margie Dawson, come on down.
It's really nice to you. Thank you. It's actually a little surprise that I'm up here because Kathleen is our executive director, and she is the most amazing voice. But thank you, Rick, for bringing me up here. And thank you all for supporting Turning Points. As Rick said, 30 years is an amazing time for us to be here in Manatee County. And with your support, the thousands and thousands of lives that we touch to bring people out of homelessness, but also prevent. And you know, we do that through so many things. We have our free health center, we have free medical, we have free dental, we have veteran services, we have housing services, we have navigation services, we have housing assistance, utility assistance. Really, it goes on, but we couldn't do what we do without your support. So I invite you to come to Turning Points anytime to take a tour so you can see firsthand. And again, we love our community and we love all you guys, and thank you so much.
This next award is one of our Community Leadership Awards, and we looked at some of our community members, as many of the organizations that are doing award luncheons are doing this year. And we're looking at some of our leaders who stepped up during the hurricane. No one had to ask, no one had to tell them anything. They just knew that it was important to make sure that our community was okay. And Darcy Duncan, and she's not able to be here today, and she's very apologetic, but Kim is going to actually accept and present on her behalf. But Darcy and I are leadership sisters forever, so she's always trying to figure out what she could do to make sure she impacts the community. So Kim, come down and present and accept this award for Darcy Duncan. Please give her a round of applause as she comes forward.
Thank you, Xtavia.
You can read about Darcy, where she's from, about her business and things she's involved in the program. But I wanted to just say a few words about why she's being recognized today, and it is my great pleasure to help honor her with this award. In the face of an unimaginable personal loss, her home and both business offices received extensive damage and loss. Darcy put the needs of her neighbors and community first, demonstrating unwavering resilience and compassion. As soon as Hurricane Helene passed and the devastation became evident, Darcy mobilized her team with incredible speed, activating a new Facebook group that quickly became the central hub for sharing vital information related to storm recovery needs. This group has attracted more than 8,000 members and has been instrumental in coordinating relief efforts, as well as all of Anna Maria Island and Cortez Village on the mainland. With the landfall of Milton just a few weeks later and its devastating second blow to Anna Maria Island, the support system created by this page was a proverbial lifeline for so many. Darcy also played a critical role in activating the Anna Maria Island Community Center, transforming it into a key distribution hub for supplies, resources, and information. You may read, there are multiple media reports that you may have read about Darcy's contribution, and she still continues to work tirelessly to continue the relief efforts, especially on the island. If it weren't for a long ago planned vacation, Darcy would be here with you today, but she did send me her heartfelt comments. And so that you can visualize Darcy delivering this message, I brought her with me. So this is from Darcy. Thank you so much to Tiger Bay for this wonderful honor of the Pat Glass Community Leadership Award. Pat was such an influencer in our community way before social media was even a thought. What I love most is that she was an advocate for affordable housing, which has been so important to me throughout my real estate career. I was raised on Anna Maria Island and never thought I would be the voice for so many after going through back-to-back hurricanes, something none of us had ever experienced. To be a voice for my island in our time of need is something that has truly humbled me. I have learned I am a connector of people, a gift I did not know I had until faced with challenges no one wrote a playbook for. I love my island, our county, and our community. For me to be an ambassador of Anna Maria Island is something I never thought I would say. There are so many others who are alongside me to help facilitate so many things that needed to happen, so I accept this award not only for myself, but the countless others who rallied with me to assist others. I am forever grateful to stand beside the other honorees, standing beside y'all, who are amazing contributors to our community. From the bottom of my heart, thank you.
So this next Community Leadership Award, Louis Goff, I hadn't met Louis Goff, but I heard his name a lot. And I hadn't met him personally until one of the hurricanes, and I went out to Rabonia, and I said, how can I help? What do you need? And he says, well, come down there. And I think I had a meeting, and he called me out. He says, Ms. Bailey, I've been here since 8 o'clock. I said, well, I was dropping off some other stuff, and I wanted to get some more paper goods and things. But when I walked in the office, everybody was in there, and I would say he's the mayor of Rabonia. That's what I would say, because they looked to him, and he didn't have to stand there and say, I'll handle everything, because he has his job that he does, but he made his job his community. And when someone is in a community, they live in a community, they work in a community, and they love their community, they do what he does. And just seeing everybody coming in and out saying, what can I do? That is someone that loves, and they understand that he truly cares about his community. And I did want to read a little bit of Louis's Goff, because it's very, very short. Louis Goff has dedicated his entire adult life to serving the community, Raised in small town of Rabonia, Florida, he was surrounded by many role models who inspired his passion for community work. Having experienced firsthand the challenges faced by local youth, including growing up in a low-income household, struggling with self-esteem, and being told he would never amount to anything. After graduating from Palmetto High School in 1987, he immediately began working and volunteering in the community, determined to make a lasting impact. Over the years, he has collaborated with numerous organizations to support the growth and prosperity of Manatee County residents. Louis Goff, you have made an impact. Come on down and receive your Community Leadership Award.
I'll try to be 2 minutes. First of all, I'd just like to say thank you for the Tiger Bay for this award. I'm a proud graduate of Manatee County School Board. Miss Lynette Edwards, thank you for everything you did for me. She wasn't one of the teachers that said I wouldn't amount to anything. She told me I would. Miss Glass, she led many commissioners to Rabonia. A lot of them probably wouldn't even know where Rabonia was. And I appreciate her for everything she did. My first mentor, before I knew I had a mentor, was Lieutenant John Morrell. Then it moved to Coach Shannon, Mr. Johnson, and even Omar Elvis. We do a lot of things together, working with the kids in the community. But I'm gonna leave you with this, and what gave me the drive to do what I do. There was a commercial, United Negro College Fund. My goal was to go to college. The commercial was a bus and a kid standing beside the bus station, and the bus drove off. So the kid was left. I was that kid without college. So I made it my business to make sure kids have an opportunity to go to college. I have 2 kids with 4 degrees as I speak. And I also brought my favorite cousin with me. She came down from Chicago in 1987 to go to FAMU University. That means something for someone to come so far just to go to school. And I thank you all guys, and I'm out of here.
You know, it's something about when you're able to honor people and they're able to connect other leaders together. And to me, that's when you get it right, when people can look out in the audience and there's some type of connection, because leaders connect. And it's very, very, and Lynette Edwards, you didn't play because I reported to you when I was working with the school district. But she, you know, you are a Lifetime Achievement Award, so I wouldn't give you anything less. And so when you have an impact like that, and if you heard Omar's TEDx, you know she didn't play. And anyone that she touched, and I was one of those ones that she also mentored. I have many ladies that mentored me to be a productive, but have some type of integrity when I'm leading, and always be honest, because they will always tell you the truth. And so our next award is our Community Leadership Award, and it's Glenn Gabalina G. We've been doing this for years. So one thing, we had an elected official that has passed away now named Dave Minor. And when I first met Dave Minor, he called himself the watchdog. And I was like, why does he call himself the watchdog? To where when he ran for office, he changed his name to be the watchdog. And so when you meet someone like, and I've been knowing Glenn for a very long time now, as far as working with him side by side in the community, And one of his passions is making sure people have places to stay, making sure we don't have people on the streets. And I remember we had a conversation, and he was at Bayshore High helping the young people build tiny homes. And he would go to every single county commissioner. I'm pretty sure everyone knows him, because he goes through the minutes. And he asked me one day, he says, I saw you were nominated to be on the CSAB. I said, how do you know that? And I wrote my application in hand. And he said, anybody who writes out an application in hand, I trust them. And I'll never forget. Now, I don't write everything in hand, but I thought that stuck with me. I appreciate everything you're doing to work for the people that cannot speak for themselves. You are truly a watchdog for the people. Glenn, come down and get your Community Leadership Award.
For the record, Glenn Gadfly Gibellina. So I could relate to so many folks up here. It's such an honor, really. I don't know how I got here, to be honest with you. But Coach Sannon, 30 years. I'm 73. I hope I get another 30 years out of this. Honest to God. Rabonia, I get it. I'm from New Pierce, marginalized area, 30 years. We get it. We're sister cities. So I've been to Rabonia many times. I love that little community. So, you know, I don't know how I got here, but I'm glad that I am. It's never too late to make a difference, right? I'm 73. I'm still going strong. I think everybody has an opportunity to make that difference. Can we change the world? Probably not. Can I? No. But can I change one person's life? I think I can. Building one home at a time. Affordable housing. We've never had it. We're 30,000 units short. The developers, we have a lot of work to do. I am so grateful for this new board and the new leadership in moving affordable housing in the right direction that we've been lacking for 20 years, a long, long time. And I think there's a lot of opportunity on infill lots to bring up our current communities that are struggling, that nobody, they just cast us aside and say, you know what, you're on your own. That's going to change with the new board, federal funding that we're getting in, smaller builders that will take a chance on that infill lot, build it up, put a new house there, and move on. I am really, it's not always easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. God gives us struggles to appreciate the good things in life. That's why we struggle. You have to have passion what you do. If you have passion with what you do, you will succeed. I have this saying that, and I'll close with this because I know we're at the end of the day. And I have this framed at my house. And this is how I want to go out. When I stand before God at the end of my life, I would hope that I would have a single bit of talent left and could say, I used everything you gave me. Irma Bonbeck, I love her. Glenn Gibellina, for the record, thank you so much.
I love that. Thank you, Glenn. Cliff, what time is it? So our very last award is the Philanthropy Award. It's the Philanthropy Leadership Award, and this is the Garrow Beard Foundation. And we're going to have the Goodwill Veteran Services Program Manager, Todd Hughes, is going to accept and present this award. He does amazing work with Goodwill, and it's not that I'm being biased because I'm on the board. I think you're amazing. Please give him a round of applause.
Thank you. The Gilbert family regrets they can't be here. Eric had a business trip in Australia, so they reached out to me last night and were like, hey, can you do this? I was like, sure. So, but they're amazing. So I've known them for the past couple of years. They reached out to us at Goodwill in 2023 and said they wanted to help us with the turkeys that we give away every year. And we had done 50 the previous several years. And so we doubled it to 100. And then they were like, well, let's do more next year. So we decided on 300 this last year. And with that, we tracked the families we gave it to, and we were able to reach over 800 individuals. And beyond that, they gave us some extra donations to work with some of the veterans we've been case managing and give them some life-changing Christmas gifts. So we were able to buy a car. We were able to give somebody a whole house AC unit. We were able to help with so much stuff. And so for them to ask me to come up here on their behalf with all that they've helped us accomplish, they're amazing, and I'm so thankful for them reaching out to us to change lives. Love what I do through Goodwill to change lives through the power of work, but also to change lives through our partners in the community. So Gilbert Foundation, if you don't know them, look them up. They're amazing. They completely fund it themselves through their family, and they're amazing people. So thank you.
And someone asked me this morning, you know you got a lot of awards, Xtavia. Are you going to be able to get through all of them? Absolutely. So I do want to thank Gilbane Building Company. They are our sponsorship. They do $5,000 a year toward our scholarships for the Pat Glass Scholarship Award. So I want to thank them. Also, Goodwill, thank you for your sponsorship. All the board members, could you please stand that are present? All of our board members that are present, please stand. If you look in the back of your program, I just wanted, because you saw the recipients today, but in our inaugural 2019, if you find that program, 2019, we were able to honor Pat Glass with the Lifetime Achievement Award. And those were our inaugural recipients in that top right there in 2019. And it was an honor to be able to give her an award and let her know that she earned those flowers while she was there. So if you wanted to take a look at our past recipients, they are there on that award. Thank you to METV, ABC7. Thank you to our caterers today. I hope the food was good. Was it good? Yeah, very good. Clap, clap. Thank you so much. We are done. I'll see you guys at the Spirit Awards. That's for you, Veronica.